Hi everyone. So today I've got a fidget video really. Guess kind of like a mini review, so it's not an unboxing because I already unboxed it, and basically this is the 01 EDC slider. So these have been around for quite a while. Apologies about the cat, she's just been fed, but I think she wants attention. Never mind the fact that she's had attention all day. Yeah, so these have been around for a long time, and I usually find that quite unusual for fidgets because usually they get released, once they sell out they're gone. But 01 EDC has continued to put the slider out in different kind of variations, so basically you can buy different liners. So I didn't quite realise just how many different liners there were now. So the only reason why I got this was because Mark Chang at Play for Beans sent me something as a gift, and it's a plate for this, but I didn't have the fidget. He's ever such a nice guy, but you know, I was worried. I just said, look, I'll send it back to you because I don't have the fidget, but he just said, no, keep it, or you know, do what you want with it. So it's been in a box for probably about a year. I kind of always wanted to get one of these, but you have to buy the liners and the plates separately, and it runs up quite a lot, or more than I'm willing to pay, especially the plates. So they do different designs, they've done different materials, things like that. Most of them are out of stock now on sort of the sites that are available to us, but they've more or less quite recently release these plain plates as like a kind of cheaper version of some of the other plates they've done. So I just decided, do you know what, I'm going to get a liner and I'm going to get those cheap plates because that's a little bit more reasonable to me, especially as I wasn't sure if I'm going to like this. So it's got 3 layers, so we've got the liner, the 2 plates there. So you get the liner separately, so I got it in this box, and then you get the plate separately in another box. So it's heavy, but it's really actually quite good. I'm quite impressed. So it's a mechanical slider, and I think the original mechanical versions were just straight up and down, and I know a lot of people have praised them. They came out with a rotating slider, liner, sorry, a bit later on, which people also liked, but this one particularly grabbed me because it's not only a rotating one, but it also can be pushed. So this top plate can be pushed from side to side. So that appealed to me, very much reminds me of my Mock Groove, which is a bit harder to push, but quite similar. Okay. So yeah, that was a liner I decided to go for. I was really surprised just how many liners there are. It was a little bit confusing, so I suggest, you know, do your research. I'll put links in the description below for the sites I looked at. So they were the sites selling them basically. They had some little videos, descriptions of how each liner works. But obviously you have to buy a liner and then some plates to make the complete fidget, and that can run up quite a bit. So that can be a little bit of a negative for this slider, that you have to buy the parts separately. And yeah, it does run up quite a bit, but this, I have to say, is actually really rather good. It's extremely smooth. The sound is amazing. And the feedback is wonderful. So I've just been fidgeting with this like most of the day since I got it, and I actually fidget with my left hand most of the time, but yeah, it's just really nice to use, and I found myself sort of holding it like this, so my index wraps around the back plate, and then I was just literally moving it around quite a lot, or just sort of messing with it like that as well. So there's a lot of kind of features in terms of play. It's very satisfying, very hard to describe, it's very zippy, but yeah, super smooth, but you still got that feedback there and sound, which is awesome. Now I have already opened this up. I've put, it comes with some little brass caps in, so you've got springs and then the balls, and they run along the tracks. So it comes with some little brass caps, and you can put them on to just increase a little bit of the tension for the sliding experience. Now I have put those caps in. Out of box I actually really loved it as it was, but I thought could do with a little bit more tension, so, and I thought I'm going to take it apart. So yeah, I put the caps in, and I think it's better, or I prefer it anyway. When I first got it, I noticed that, especially when sort of closing it, there is a little bit of a ringing sound. A lot of people, actually, not some, a lot of people really like that. I don't know if you can kind of hear it there, but it was louder before I put the brass caps in, so the brass caps have kind of dampened it a bit, which is good for me. But it did have quite a lot of ringing when you just sort of closed it. Now, I've seen a lot of tuning fork sliders now. They seem to be the in thing at the moment, but I cannot stand them personally. I think I've got very sensitive hearing. I've probably damaged my hearing growing up because I played drums growing up. I still play my musical instruments, but I don't know what it is, but that tuning fork sound just really grates on me, and I really don't like it. And they actually do a Zerk tuning fork liner for this fidget. I think I watched a video on it, and I just had to sort of stop it after like a couple of seconds because I couldn't stand the sound. I'm probably in a minority there, but it just, yeah, I think the frequency of it, I really don't like it. So I was a little bit disappointed by that kind of ringing sound. But those little brass caps have dampened it. But if you like ringing sound, then I guess it's a plus. And I'm not sure, but I think the ringing sound is because of the brass. So the piece that basically has the ball indentations in it is brass, and on the other side of this, underneath here, I think it's underneath there. No, it isn't. That's stainless steel, I think. I don't know. I can't remember what's on the other side. Probably just steel. So, but you've got two pieces of brass in here. You've got a brass piece here, and then you have got a brass piece inside as well. And I will take this apart and I'll show you. But, or I'm miscounting how many brass pieces there are, but I'm thinking the brass actually makes that ringing sound. I may be wrong. I'm not sure. That's a guess. But yeah, I'm not quite sure why they went for brass, unless it was for that particular sound. Who knows? So this is heavy, and if I get my scales, let's move the boxes out of the way for a second. Yes, it's 112 grams, so yeah, it's probably like one of the heaviest fidget, if not the heaviest fidget I have. So I'm kind of wishing now I went with titanium plates. They're about half, almost half the weight of the steel plates, but obviously they cost more, so it was a bit of a toss-up really. So I just thought, no, I'll just spend as little money as possible and just get the stainless steel ones. And they're only plain, so I think they're called the No.11 plate. I'm boring. I like plain. I like that stonewash look against the kind of polished liner. I do like that. It's a nice contrast. Also, I'm very lucky. I know someone who has a laser engraver, so there's a possibility I might be able to get these engraved. In fact, I will be able to get them engraved. It just depends on what design I go for and if I decide to do it in the end. So yeah, may do, may not. One thing that I did notice about this, so this video's a little bit all over the place, it's sort of late evening here. Obviously we've got tape around this edge here, which is the piece that rotates. Now, it doesn't look very nice, but to be honest, you're not seeing it most of the time because it's on the other side. You're going to have it facing this way pretty much all the time. But it is actually a really thoughtful addition, which surprised me for 01 EDC. We all know about their quality control issues. So it's just on the liner part, so it's not on the plates, just on the liner. So the liner does actually sit just slightly proud of the plates, which is a good thing. So the plates don't actually really touch the liner, and therefore the plates aren't really scraping along the slider. So with this rotating piece, I'd imagine if you didn't have that tape there, it would just scratch all of this along here, and also this piece would probably scratch this piece. So the fact that they've put that little bit of tape on there, it just ensures that it's very, very smooth when it goes around, but just sort of, you know, protects the slider really from getting that kind of damage. And I think that is really good. It's easily replaceable, that tape, so I've had this tape for a long time. I've got spares of it because I used to put it on my Louty shuffle in the magnet track. So you can just use a very sharp knife to just cut round the shape, or just sort of, if I have to replace this, I would just put a piece across, flush across, and then just cut round the corners and all everywhere. So I think that's a good idea. I quite like that feature, because one thing I have to say about the Mock Groove is it's getting awfully scratched up because of this rotating plate, so you get quite a lot of scratches under here. And you know, it's not the end of the world, but I think because this one, it has, you know, the black as well, it just shows a bit more on the stainless steel that it's quite scratched. So I've got my rhythm here. This one isn't so bad. I mean, it's got a coating over it because I've got the inlay done, but I don't know if you can see. It has got some scratches, and I can feel that this area is rougher because of, ooh, don't know my own strength. Yeah, because of the rotating piece. Nature of the beast, I guess. But yeah, I just thought that was a thoughtful design. Yeah, it doesn't look pretty, but I think that's a small sacrifice to have on the back rather than have this all scratched up. So, I mean, I've had it for a day, so time will tell, but I mean, if you've got one like this, same kind of liner, you know, if you can chip in the comments if yours is worn in, then let me know. Let the others know as well. So yeah, actually a really neat little slider. Okay, awkward cut. Sorry about that. Basically what happened is I got this video all completed, uploaded it, and then realised that the sound quality had gone really bad for the last 3 minutes, and was also lagging. So I've kind of had to leave it for quite a few days because I've been busy, and I'm just re-recording sort of like the last sort of points I wanted to mention. So overall, this has surprised me, the slider, and I can see why they've continued to produce them and made new liners and made new shells. So they've got a 2nd anniversary shell they've just released. Not something I'm interested in, it's rather expensive, but you know, they're keeping going, and I can kind of see why. Big negative, of course, is the price and the fact that, you know, you have to buy the liners and the plates separately. It does allow for customization, which is a positive, but you know, I think just the price you know, increase is a negative there. It can turn into a bit of an expensive fidget. It's also very bulky, so that could also be a negative. This one's particularly heavy because of the stainless steel. I think if I'd have invested in the titanium plates, it would be a little bit lighter. But in terms of bulkiness, it's about 45mm long. It's about 24mm in width, and then about 18mm in depth. So yeah, it's quite a bulky thing. And if I just sort of compare it to the groove there, so in terms of sort of this profile, it's quite nice and slim, which is nice for me. But I mean, look at the difference there. So it's very thick. Very different mechanical sliders, and obviously this one's got more travel as well, and I kind of like that. No disrespect to the Mott Groove, I still love my Mott Groove. Let's have a look at the Mott Rhythm. So obviously that's thicker. Yeah, it's very big. Has more travel, so in a way the rhythm's very nice. You've got that kind of travel there. You don't have as much, I guess, stability with this because they can, you know, these plates easily come off. Good thing and a bad thing, but yeah, obviously these are screwed in place. Then we've got the Mackie CP3, which is magnetic. But obviously the design and everything is similar, and obviously I think it's Mackie Lin, so I may be wrong, but you know, this has a really lovely loud sound. Really great classic slider. This is a little bit more discreet because it's mechanical, but yeah, it's a lot bigger than the CP3. And then just for a laugh, there's a little CP3 Nano, which was like my first kind of premium fidget. That was the Find Your Trail version, which I will never ever get rid of. But yeah, it's tiny, teeny tiny. Yeah. So yeah, just let us know what you think. If you've got this liner in particular, if you've got the other liners, you know, what do you think of this slider? Also, one thing that I forgot to mention in my original recording of this video, and I kind of cover in the next video that's going to go out where I disassemble this, is this is a negative as well. You've got a little bit of play here, and that's just like between the indents, I guess, for that rotating track. It's not the end of the world. It's just when you sit it down sometimes it sort of, you know, sort of moves off to the side or whatever. It looks a bit weird, but I guess it's just the nature of the beast, I think, and I think I will mention this again in the next video. Could have been fixed by some sort of aligned magnets on the this part of the liner and then the top part of the liner, just to snap it into place when it's closed. But I'm not an expert. Maybe it would have been too fiddly. And also, as you can see, after about a week, this brass piece, brass in there, the brass underneath here, it's all kind of patinaing up now. If you follow my channel, you know I don't like patina metals, but this is something I don't really have to actually touch that at all. And I don't touch in there either, so it doesn't really bother me. But yeah, that's all for today. Thank you again. See you in the next one where I take this apart and put another plate on. So bye bye.